Many people pursue happiness, yet perhaps there's something fundamental about life they've misunderstood, something that might genuinely guide their journey. Niccolò Machiavelli, the Renaissance philosopher, famously suggested a different approach. Don't merely seek happiness, seek power. Before dismissing this advice, consider Machiavelli's true meaning. Power isn't simply control over others. Rather, it's the capacity to shape one's own destiny, build resilience, and maintain strength amid life's inevitable challenges. Happiness, he argued, is fleeting and elusive. True personal power, however, can be cultivated, enduring, and reliable. Niccolò Machiavelli, serving as a diplomat for the Republic of Florence, once encountered a man whose actions profoundly influenced his thoughts: Cesare Borgia. Cesare, son of Pope Alexander VI, was a powerful and ambitious ruler whose methods deeply fascinated Machiavelli. One notable episode occurred in the Italian town of Cesena. The region had fallen into chaos, crime was rampant, and authority was in decay. Cesare Borgia appointed a ruthless yet effective commander named Ramiro de Orco to restore order. Ramiro swiftly and harshly brought law and stability back to the city. However, his brutal methods made him deeply unpopular among the citizens. Recognizing this resentment, Cesare made a chilling but calculated decision. To distance himself from Ramiro's cruelty, he ordered the execution of the very commander who had restored order. Ramiro's body was publicly displayed in Cesena's central square, leaving the population both shocked and impressed. Witnessing this act, Machiavelli understood something pivotal. Cesare had deliberately separated himself from the cruelty required to achieve stability. He appeared strong yet merciful, restoring peace while deflecting blame. This cunning maneuver provided Machiavelli with a profound insight into power, authority, and perception, later becoming a foundational lesson in his renowned book, The Prince. This encounter with Cesare Borgia illustrated Machiavelli's core discovery, that leadership often involves morally complex decisions, where appearances can matter as much as actions. It was here, through Cesare's calculated ruthlessness and strategic wisdom, that Machiavelli crystallized his philosophy that sometimes, in the quest for stability and effective rule, harsh measures must be employed, but carefully managed and presented to secure power and legitimacy. Cesare Borgia's actions and Machiavelli's subsequent interpretation shaped political thought for centuries, offering enduring lessons about the complexities of power, perception, and leadership. In his influential work, The Prince, Machiavelli observed closely those who navigated life's turbulent waters successfully. One key insight emerged clearly. The individuals who thrived weren't those merely chasing temporary pleasures. Instead, those who harnessed power with wisdom, strategy, and clear vision created lasting impacts. Machiavelli's Florence provides a vivid illustration. Leaders came and went, some beloved, others despised. Those who pursued immediate popularity often vanished with changing tides. Yet those who sought genuine power, grounded in thoughtful strategy, left lasting legacies. They weren't merely lucky or momentarily happy. They were true masters of their fate. Today, these lessons remain profoundly relevant. Modern culture bombards individuals with invitations to chase happiness through consumption, popularity, and instant gratification. Yet these joys seldom last, trapping people in cycles of constant dissatisfaction, always pursuing the next fleeting pleasure. Machiavelli, however, suggests a different path, pursuing power as purposeful self-mastery. Imagine cultivating discipline, strategic thinking, and resilience. Imagine setting ambitious, clear goals, embracing discomfort, and building inner strength rather than depending on external validation. Power, according to Machiavelli, involves understanding one's true value, aligning actions with clear goals, and navigating adversity calmly. It includes knowing when to speak, when to remain silent, when to build alliances, and when to stand independently. As Machiavelli wrote centuries ago, power often demands difficult and even unpopular choices, but such choices shape enduring legacies. Real power also necessitates self-reflection, honestly evaluating one's strengths, weaknesses, ambitions, and fears. This self-awareness is crucial, as one cannot guide others or influence outcomes without first mastering oneself. Consider thoughtfully: is your life driven by temporary happiness or the pursuit of lasting power? Reflect on daily habits, decisions, and relationships. Do these elements reinforce strength and independence, or distract from deeper growth? Ultimately, Machiavelli's wisdom encourages choosing power intentionally. Power provides clarity amid confusion, strength during struggles, and wisdom within chaos. Pursuing it deliberately fosters not only meaningful achievement, but also genuine, lasting happiness. In short, Machiavelli's message remains clear. Don't chase fleeting happiness. Embrace power, master yourself, and consciously shape your destiny. Modern politics often draws heavily from the insightful and controversial teachings of Niccolò Machiavelli, particularly his assertion that political leaders prioritize power and control over genuine concern for the well-being of their people. Machiavelli famously argued in The Prince that effective rulers must sometimes embrace morally questionable methods to maintain authority and stability. He observed that the appearance of compassion, fairness, and morality often holds greater importance to a leader than actually embodying those virtues. Today, politicians frequently echo this philosophy, publicly expressing empathy and concern while privately pursuing agendas aimed at securing and expanding their own influence. Consider political campaigns, where leaders make promises addressing public concerns such as healthcare, employment, or safety. Once elected, however, these same politicians regularly prioritize policies that consolidate their power or cater to influential interest groups over those that directly benefit the wider population. This aligns closely with Machiavelli's assertion that leaders must appear virtuous, even if their actions don't reflect genuine care for their citizens. Furthermore, modern politicians routinely employ Machiavellian tactics, such as scapegoating opponents or manipulating public perception through media narratives. By strategically managing information and perceptions, they reinforce their power structures, often at the expense of transparency and accountability. Ultimately, Machiavelli's teachings remain strikingly relevant, as modern politics reveals that beneath public expressions of concern and compassion, many politicians are primarily driven by their pursuit of lasting power and personal advantage, rather than by genuine commitment to the population's well-being. So what should you do with this knowledge? First, become more critical of political messaging. Don't take speeches or slogans at face value. Look at patterns of behavior, voting records, and who benefits from proposed policies. Second, recognize that true change rarely comes from those in power voluntarily surrendering it. Organize, vote strategically, and support grassroots movements that hold leaders accountable. And finally, cultivate your own sense of power through education, community, and clarity of thought, so that you're less easily manipulated by appearances and more capable of shaping your own future. Awareness is the first step toward influence, and perhaps the most Machiavellian move of all is using that awareness to outmaneuver those who only pretend to serve.